second. Right. So we're live now. So is it what time? It's what? 5 o'clock your time now, Jane?
It is, yes, it's
Right,
5 o'clock.
it's still morning here in Jamaica, so I'll say good afternoon to those in London and Farnham, Southampton, and good night to those elsewhere, and good morning to some other persons all over the world. So, I mean, it's a global environment, so we know that we have all kinds of time zones represented at the moment. So, it's really an honor and really a privilege, and also it is really exciting to be able to connect with somebody all the way over in Great Britain on the same platform, doing the same business. I mean, having the same goals, to
Yeah.
be success, to be online success. It's an amazing experience. So, welcome, Jane. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to us having a really lively discussion, as we talk about the things that make us tick, as online business owners. So, Jane, I'm gonna ask you to give us a brief overview of yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Jane, and what does Jane like to do?
Right, hi. Thank you for having me. Um, I'm Jane Hammond. I live in the UK, as Grace has just said. I've been married for 34 years on Sunday just gone. So we've just had our wedding anniversary. So that was lovely. My
Oh,
husband's
congratulations.
Thank you. My husband's just retired from the Royal Navy. He's just done 40 years and he's finished. And that was one of the reasons why I was looking to start something. Well, I wasn't really even looking, it just sort of happened. So he's just retired, and that's probably my biggest goal now, is to be able to sort of finish work and join him as well. So I'm still working part-time. I don't do many hours, but I am working part-time, so it's lovely. But that's me. And like I say, we've been married for 34 years. I've got 2 grown-up daughters and I've got 2 grandchildren. So it's lovely. And I've got them tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Okay, great. So, Jane, what is it that you have done? What was your career path?
I right at the beginning, when I was 16, I trained as a hairdresser, and that was too many years ago now to think about. And because my husband was in the forces and we did a lot of moving around, eventually I needed to find a job, one that would work school hours when the girls were away, and I didn't want to have to keep rebuilding a client base, because every time you move, you're only moving for a couple of years, and then you have to rebuild everything again. So I started to work for one of the big mobile phone operators over here. Actually, they're quite global as well now. And I was with them for 12 years. And when we moved back down here, I realised that I was having to travel too much for work. So I stopped working with them. And for the last 11 years, I've been working with Hillary's Blinds, which is one of our big blinds and shutters and curtain companies here in the UK. And I actually visit people in their home and take all the samples. And that's my job now. And I love it because it allows me to have a little bit of flexibility, not as much as I get with my online business, but just give me a bit of flex. And if I need to change things around, then I can do. So I run my own diary in that pretty much. So it's good. It's great. So that's what I do now. I measure up and I do the sale, and then the fitters go in and hang the curtains and blinds and shutters and stuff.
Okay, that's great. That's an amazing. I mean, and it's good that you love what you do, because I mean, a lot of times we find persons that you're in something, but you don't enjoy it. You're there to make a living, but it is not what you look forward to. It's good to know that you enjoy, and it's good to know that you have your husband home now. So I'm sure that you're looking forward to spending more quality time together. Getting to know each other some more, doing some of the things. I know Tissy said that you love to travel with your husband in your mobile home,
Yes,
But I know you get an opportunity to do a lot more of that now, and also, to share your grandchildren together, So,
yes,
so
it's
that's
lovely.
amazing.
Yeah, it has been.
All right. So tell me a bit of your how did you get onto starting your own online business? How did you get there?
By I was just going through my Facebook newsfeed, like I think many of us do that,
Yes.
and an advert popped up. I wasn't really looking for anything, and I just looked at it and I thought, well, this looks interesting. So I jumped onto the webinar, which was live, but I watched the replay because of the time difference. And I looked at that and I thought, this is really interesting. I want to know a bit more about it. So almost straight away, I paid to go through to the next stage. And it really was very interesting. And that was it. I mean, it got me hooked pretty much straight away because it was such a simple system and it was obviously working for people. So it was a case of, right, this can work for me. It will work for me. It's working for other people. And all you've got to do literally is follow the training. So the training's there for us. And that really is what the business is. So it like I say, it was by accident. I hadn't intended to look for something. I wasn't really looking for something. But once I started to look at it, I realised long term it was going to fit in with the lifestyle I was looking to create and get forward and sort of bring it all forward and decide that I will be able to travel, have my grandchildren, maybe do a little bit of work part-time because I still enjoy what I do, but it meant that I had the freedom and the flexibility to work the hours that I want to work and give it the time that I can afford to give to it. But it took me a while to get to that stage because a lot happened as I was looking at it. My dad had a heart attack, then my mum was really ill, then we lost my mum and Michael's mum within a few days of each other. And my head wasn't in the right space at that point. But I just put it on the back burner and it just kept ticking along and it was doing its own thing. So that was also what made me realise just how easy this would be for me. I have to put the work in like everybody else. But if you haven't got the time or life starts getting in the way for any reason, then it'll work for you anyway, because that's the beauty of the automation of it.
How long ago did you start in this business?
I started in July 2019. I had my first buyer in August 2019. And then everything sort of, like I said, I lost mum and stuff. So everything went on the back boiler. And then it all kicked off again, probably March last year when the pandemic started. Mm-hmm. And this really just developed a life of its own because people were looking for something at that point. And this works for so many different people. You have people that were furloughed at home, but they could still do this. They could still work and create an income and a lifestyle for their families, even if they couldn't go into work physically. So that was really good. And it was a bit of a lifeline for me whilst everything else was happening because we couldn't work and I'm self-employed anyway with work. So I wasn't going to get paid if I wasn't working. And this sort of just gives you that little bit of a run along. You're muted.
Right. The start of a journey for a lot of persons are so very similar because, like, for myself, it was the same thing. I was just surfing, and going through my Facebook feed when I saw an advertisement. And as you said, it really sparked, it really looked interesting because it did not require a lot. It just required that you watch a live webinar. It was complimentary, so you weren't committing anything except 90 minutes of your time. And for me, at that time, I was really not online person. I wasn't really very tech savvy, I knew I wanted to do something online because I knew I wanted the time flexibility. I just like yourself, I really love to travel. I really love to go with my family. As I said to you earlier on in 2019, we're in Norway. I like to travel. So as long as there's somewhere to go, I'm ready to go. But of course, you have to also have the financial flexibility to be able to do that, and to travel with your family as a whole, it really takes a lot. So I too was looking for something that was gonna provide me, with that sort of flexibility, both in time and financial wise. And when I saw that, it really looked like it was something that could do that. And what also caught my attention was that so many persons were using it, and there were so many testimonials that you could listen to, and they weren't all pie in the sky. As you said, you have to put in the work, you have to spend the time, and even when things are not going so well for you, it works along, it stays in the background and it works. You don't lose anything from it. You can pick it up back, and
Yeah,
it also provides you something that keeps you motivated when things are not going so well. So it's really something that I think is something that has really made a difference in the lives of many. You spoke about the training, Jane, that is provided.
yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the training. How has it been for you, and how have you found it?
When I started, there wasn't as much training as there is now, and it was still really quite comprehensive, and it was all video based, so you can run a video and then follow it through at your own pace. I mean, like yourself, like you said about being tech savvy, I wasn't particularly tech savvy, and I was really quite worried about being able to do things for myself. But it takes you through everything step by step, and we've got people on here that are well into their. We've got one lady that's in her 80s, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's easy to follow so long as you follow it. If you try and miss a bit, then it doesn't necessarily work so well, and you have to go back to that. But it really is. It's straightforward. It's easy to follow. You can do it at your own pace. And the other thing as well, of course, that we haven't quite touched on yet, is the community. So if there's something that you're not sure about, there's always somebody else that you can reach out to. And also, the people that are in the testimonials on the webinar that you watch become real because they're in the community as well. You can ask them questions, you can speak to them, and all of that sort of thing. There's a couple that I really got hooked on when I first started, and that was Chris and Karen. And I started following them, and I had a chat with Chris the other day, and it just, there's always somebody that will help you. And my coach is lovely, but she's a nurse, so over the last year they've been really, really busy. So there's always somebody else that you can sort of become a part of that community. And we have regional meetups, local meetups, European masterminds. We have our own training sessions every Wednesday. And like you say, it's just straightforward. It's easy to follow, and you can do it at your own pace. So if you're not really quick on something, it doesn't matter. You just go back over it until you're ready and you're happy with it. So, you learn about Google advertising, you learn about YouTube advertising. YouTube took me a while to get my head around, and I've done that now. And it wasn't so much putting it together, it was knowing what to say, because you want to keep it short and to the point without waffling off and losing people. But yeah, it really is very, very good. And I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but Ivan Henry is based here in the UK.
Yes.
He did the YouTube training on Sunday, and that was excellent. And if you can't find something in our community, you can Google it, and generally you can find the answers that you need anyway, or somebody will help you. So yeah, it's great.
Right, I find the training extremely comprehensive, and the training for me is like it's multifaceted. You have the training side that has everything laid out step by step by step. As you said, if you follow it, you and do everything in order, not trying to upscotch and jump all over the place. It does yield results for you because it is structured so that you move from point A to point B. You build, each one build on the other. And the other thing I like about the training site is that it's constantly updated. So as the online space evolves, the training is updated. So, the Google sites become updated, the training is updated. Facebook, the training is updated. And so we have an extremely competent and efficient back office. And their sole purpose is to ensure that the community is equipped with all the tools that we need to make this business work. And the thing about it is that you don't have to be constantly paying to upgrade yourself. Once
Exactly.
you pay, the upgrades are constantly coming and it doesn't cost you anything more. It is so amazing to be able to harness all of those resources without having to find additional funds to support it. And as you see, along with the training, you have the various masterminds, which I call continual professional development, because this allow you the additional resources from persons who are sharing their discoveries. They share if they go out there and they come across something and they find a way around it, they come back and they share so that you don't have to make the same mistake or fall into the same trap. And that is so amazing. And for me, sometimes you're doing this thing and you get a little disheartened sometimes, or you get a little laid back sometimes. But just knowing that you go to the masterminds on a Wednesday or different coach masterminds. I also attended the European mastermind and I find it so very enlightening. I also follow the Globe Boys, which you spoke about, Ivan, and they are just so amazing. They do a lot of research and they are just they just love to share. That's what I find. Nobody is selfish. Persons are just so open and willing to share, and it's like we say, you grow by building each other up. It is really an amazing experience, Jane. I really love it being here. Yes,
We're very lucky.
yes,
I've looked around since I found this. I actually had another look around in a bit of a trawl to see if I could find anything else that was similar, and I haven't been able to do that. There's a lot of things out there which will give you the training and different things, but you have to pay for it on a month-to-month basis
yes.
for a lump sum, and it's expensive. It's not cheap. So yeah, we're very, very lucky in the situation that we're in with regards to, like you say, the ongoing training is just amazing, and it's available to all of us. And if
Yes.
you don't use it, it's your own fault if it doesn't work. So it's there and it's updated constantly. I mean, a lot of things have just changed on Google again, haven't they? And they've updated all of the sites again, and it's all done. And the back office is just amazing, and the help that's there for us is second to none, I think.
Yes, and the other thing also, Jane, I find is that it is not a platform that limits you to where you live. I mean, there are a lot of online platforms, but the things that they offer are limited, whether it's to you to the United States or Canada, or to those the big places like UK, Canada, and the US. But with this platform, persons from all over the globe, persons in Africa, in India, in Bali, in Norway, wherever they are from, they are utilizing the same platform, the same training, and everything, and it is working for everybody. It's just so well thought out, you know,
Yes.
and well structured to meet the global marketplace.
Yeah.
So we really have to give a really big thank you to the founders, of this community. They really are. They are not short-sighted. They see really very far down the road, and they have hearts of gold that are just,
Yeah.
are just oozing with the desire to see persons become their best selves and achieve the best that they can achieve when they put their mind to it.
I totally agree. And it's also the development within yourself and the confidence that builds. I mean, to do go live, somebody had said to me that I'd be sat doing this 2 years ago, I would never have believed them. And the other thing as well is that you're sharing knowledge and you're showing that the community actually works. But as well, the other side is doing the go lives, going actually live on your page and talking to people from a point that you think to yourself, I would never have done that. There's absolutely no way I would have done it. And everybody supports each other. And if you're a bit worried about it, they help you out with it. So it really is very, very good. And I've never found anything else like it. It really is clever. And it's, like you say, the founders have just put this together and they've shared it and they've built their knowledge and they're sharing all of the knowledge. The teams up at head office and the platform. I mean, it wasn't long ago that they've upgraded the platform because it couldn't cope with the number of people that were here now. So they've had to change all of that. And we've got systems in the background that allow us to talk to each other, and we've got groups and different areas. I mean, we would never have met if it hadn't been for this, and we would never have shared anything if it hadn't been for something like this, because we're in two different parts of the world. We're not even in the same country. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Do you find that because of this, you have grown as a person yourself, in how you look at things, how you relate to persons, the challenges that you're willing to take on now that you probably would not have taken on some time ago? You find that you have developed in that way?
Yes, I've also got to the stage now that I would give almost anything a go, and if it doesn't quite work, I don't worry about it. I just move on to the next thing. Whereas before, I might have spent a long time worrying about the fact that something hadn't worked. But now you just go, that's not working, switch it off and do something else. And eventually you'll find that one thing that does work. So it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with something not working and maybe something failing, because you learn from that. As long as you learn from it and grow from it, then we're all in a really good place. And we're in the right place at the right time, I believe, as well.
Okay. Another thing I want to ask you, Jane. You said your husband just retired. So are you together in the business or not yet?
He is one of those skeptical husbands that's come around and is quite happy, and he doesn't mind me sort of bringing him into it a little bit, but he's not really involved in it. He's quite happy for me just to run with it. If I can't do something for some reason, or I can't put a post up, but you can schedule everything anyway pretty much nowadays. So, but he helps me write some of my posts because I get jumbled, but he's very clever with words. So I use his strengths. So he's there and he's sort of pottering around in the background, but he's not on anything, if you know what I mean. He doesn't really like being online or anything like that. So yeah, he watches things on Instagram and he has a look at what we've done on Instagram, or have a look at my LinkedIn page, but he's not on Facebook. So he doesn't see that side of it at all. And he knows that I do the go lives, and he's quite happy to sit to one side and laugh at me while I'm doing something, but he doesn't really get involved in that at all. He keeps the dogs quiet while I'm trying to do something, or he's got the grandkids. But yeah, he wouldn't go on camera.
But I'm sure that he is quite, as you said, he's quite happy to watch you, doing your thing and knowing that it is making you happy and it's making you feel fulfilled, because you are doing something that you love and something that is doing something for you, and you are building this.
Yeah, it's doing something for the whole family. So at the end of the day, it's giving us, long term
legacy, legacy for your children and your grandchildren. Yeah, because this is what this business does too. It keeps going, You can pass it down to your children and grandchildren, and they can continue to benefit from it and build on what you have started, and that's an amazing thing, to have that residual. Yes. So Jane, speak to persons who are now thinking that they need something else. They have a desire for something more, maybe to, as we said, spend more time with our families, or to travel, or to pay off their debt, or they have something that they figure their current jobs are not able to fully provide. Persons like that who are looking in and who are skeptical about the online space, who are saying, nah, there's too much scammers and it's not real and all of that. Speak to them now and
yeah, I mean, if you're unsure and you're looking for something that's different and you're looking to maybe go online, in the first instance, watch the webinar. It's 90 minutes, so it's not a long time. And if you can't do 90 minutes, you probably can't do it anyway, because you haven't got the dedication to actually sit down and put yourself forward. And then if you want to go to the next stage and actually go forward and find out more, join the community and have a look at the training, it's $149. If you then decide that that's still not for you, so long as you haven't booked your coaching call and it's within 30 days, that money is completely refundable. So you've got nothing to lose by having a proper look at it. And once you get inside and you have a look at what we're actually offering on the inside, and you can see the systems working, you can speak to other business owners. And there's 80,000 people in our community online. So once you get to that stage, you're able to interact with other people that are already doing it. You can have a look and see whether or not you definitely think it's for you. If it is for you, that you then go forward, you'll find out what the products are that we offer, and we don't have to stock anything. So it's all there. Everything is done for us. Like we've already touched on the training. The training is second to none. If you had to buy a package, it would cost you thousands. I mean, just to set up an online business, you're probably looking at a minimum of £25,000 just to set it up and to do all of the office back end side of things, to set up your emails and everything like that. But with this, it's all done for us. You pay $149 to get onto the inside, and you can then make your decision as to whether or not it's definitely for you. If it's not for you, you'll get your money back and you can walk away from it. But if it is for you, it's going to open up something that's absolutely magical and amazing. And providing you put the work in, it will work for you. And it's half of it's automated. So I mean, I woke up this morning and I had 37 leads in my inbox, and I didn't have to do anything for that. It was just people that had either seen my ad, had a look at my page online, seen me on LinkedIn or on Instagram, and decided that they want to have a look a little bit deeper into what we're doing. So yeah, it's been brilliant. I had 752 leads last month. Couldn't believe it. It's the highest month I've had in leads. But it's just great. And I haven't done anything different. I've still spent maybe a couple of hours a day on this. The rest of the time I'm out working or I'm spending time with my family. And I had my very, very first distributor buy in with me when I was halfway up a mountain in the motorhome in August in 2019. And it doesn't matter where you are, it's going to work. So if you're away on holiday, this is still running. And it's, like I said, there's nothing else out there that I've found that's like it. And the community is second to none. And there's always somebody that's going to jolly you along. And we celebrate everything, the smallest wins. Somebody comes in and we celebrate each other, and everybody cheers each other on. And that side of it is just wonderful. And, you know, you put something out, somebody goes, oh, yeah, great, fabulous. So, yeah. I don't know what else I can say, really, because there's just so much I can say. It could be
that's extremely comprehensive, Jane. As you said, you know, I mean, the system is already designed for you, you know, for you to succeed. You don't have to be tech savvy, because everything is in the training, the step-by-step training. It's like you're at a university and you're being taught, you know, from the very ground up, how to build a business for yourself, how to position yourself to be seen, how to brand yourself so that you are desired, so that persons will seek after you. You're taught how to write your posts on Facebook, to make sure that the information that you're communicating is information that educates, that entertains, that motivates persons. You know, as you said it also, we don't keep inventories. There's no selling involved. You don't have to bug your families and friends, you know, they have to go door to door or make cold calls, you know, to try and sell something. No, you don't have to do. You get a comprehensive package where everything comes together for you for just $149. And all you have to do is you have to take that, then plug into the system. I mean, nothing good comes easy. There's no free lunch. But all you're required to do is to put in 10%, which is your time, you know, and your dedication and your patience to just go through the training, follow the system, and then you will see the results of what you're putting in.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
so amazing. And Jane, it is really something that I think that any person out there who are really looking forward to make a difference in their life, was really looking forward to harness the resources that are now available on the World Wide Web. I think this is a place for them. And as you see, as a community, we are in business for ourselves, but we're not in business by ourselves. We are supportive. All the support that you can get. Imagine you have your own personal coach, you have a mentor, and those persons are with you as long as you're in this business. Plus, on top of it, you have so many other persons that you can pull on, so many other talents and resources that you can draw upon. So I don't think that there's anything that any downside to this business except if you choose not to plug in, because it's all that is required. And even if, as we said, if you pay the 149 and you find it's not for you, you can always get a refund within 30 days. And as Mike always said, you would still come out a better person, because from the pre-coaching videos that you would have watched, you would have already learned a lot more about the online space. So it is really a win-win situation every way you look at it, isn't it?
Absolutely, definitely.
Yes. So I really think that this is a very informative session. Thank you so much, Jane, for coming on. Thank you to your husband for keeping the dogs quiet, you know, and because I've seen you walking them in the morning, and I know that they help to keep you fit and help to keep you focused too. As
Yes,
you go out, I've always checked on your page and see your videos and everything, and I'm saying to myself that this community really has built up a lot of persons, because you're just so natural with what you do now,
thank
and I'm sure
you.
that's not the way it was before. And I know that your husband is gonna come along with you now that he is at home twiddling his thumb. I'm sure he's gonna get a little envious, and he's gonna want to join you.
Have a look and see
Yes. Yes, and go walking with you and the dogs, and share to all of that. So again, Jane, congratulations on your anniversary, and
Thank
I
you.
just pray that God will continue to keep you and your husband in good health, and that you'll be able to enjoy your grandchildren, and they too keep you young and healthy,
Oh,
and that you have many more trips in your mobile home.
well,
You
we're
know,
hoping to get away soon, but because of the pandemic, there's been very
yes,
little travel over here. And
yes,
because of where it's stored at the moment, unfortunately, if we take it out, we can't put it back because they're
okay.
really worried about coronavirus going in there. So we're in the process of getting our driveway sorted so that we can bring it home, and then we'll be able to go whenever we want. Yeah.
So how is it? How is it with the pandemic on your side? Is it are you on lockdown, or it's
No,
trending down?
we're just coming out of lockdown. So we were in a full lockdown, and again
Mm,
we were all at home. Um, and a couple of weeks ago, they reopened the shops, what they called the non-essential shops, so the clothes shops and all the rest of them. And now the pubs have opened up, but you can only eat in the open air. So you can go into the pub, you have to book a table, but it's outside. And of course, with the UK weather, that's not the best thing at the minute. But in a couple of weeks' time, they'll be opening up the inside. So they're doing it really gradually.
yeah.
The vaccinations have been rolling out, which is another really good thing. Really thankful for that. I've had my first one. I got my second one in a couple of weeks. So it's been a scary time for the whole world, and I still can't quite get my head around the fact that it's everywhere. That
Yeah.
it's not just the UK and it's not just America. It literally is everywhere. But so long as we take it slowly and steadily, I think we'll come out the other side of this stronger and better for it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's going to take time. And unfortunately, thousands and thousands, well, millions of people have lost their lives, and that's
Yeah.
terribly sad. And India's struggling at the moment, as we all know. And we just want to get out the other side with all our family and friends safe, and hopefully everybody will be okay at the end of it. But it's not been easy for anybody. And I've got an aunt in hospital at the moment. We can't visit, so that's really sad,
Mm,
because she's in her 80s, and you just feel like you should go and see them and support them because they've
yeah.
always do, and we just can't do it. And the best way we can support them is to stay safe and make sure
Yes,
everybody
yes,
is safe.
and just to continue to pray, just to
Yeah,
continue to pray.
yeah,
But I know that we're going to come through, and we're going to come through.
yeah,
It's just as you say, utilize this time even to just reflect on, the things that are very important to us, our family, some of the things that we take for granted, and just try and reach out, especially to friends and family that we know, persons who are alone and so on, and
yeah,
thank God for the web, for the internet, for, we can communicate even if we can't see face
yeah,
to face, just like
yeah.
just
I
like
mean,
we're doing right here.
we saw my father-in-law for the first time for 8 months at the weekend, and that was lovely. And my husband went up and did a couple of jobs for him, and then I popped up for a day to take the grandchildren to see him, and then Michael came home last night, so we sort of spent a bit of time with family this weekend, which has been lovely.
Yeah.
And because we're sort of caring for them as well, it's just great that we can now see each other and
Yes,
spend some time
yes,
outside with each other, and then eventually we'll get back indoors. And like you say, people are praying and just staying really strong and trust praying that we will get out of this on the other side. But I'm sure we will now. I think we're
yes.
getting to the stage where it's going to be safer. Are you in lockdown in Jamaica, or are you?
Partial. We have lockdown times in the night. So from 8 p.m. until 5 in the morning, it's no movement time. And on the weekend, so we have on Saturday from 4 p.m. until Sunday morning at 5, and then on Sunday from 2 p.m. until Monday morning at 5. And schools are still out. There are no schools happening, and persons are encouraged to work from home. So yeah, but the numbers are trending down for us also. So we give God thanks for that, And it has not been ravishing for us here. I think we have had total 40 something thousand cases. So we have to really be grateful for that. And the death rate has still remained under 1,000 in total. So we give thanks for that.
Yeah.
Say again, Jane, and as Jane and I said, visit the website. As you can see, Jane's website is www.janehammond.net. Mine www.graceandroda.com. Register for our live complimentary webinar, and you too can learn how to take advantage of the system that has been tried, that has been proven, that so many over 80,000 persons have plugged into to make a difference in their life. And I mean, as we said, it is complimentary to watch a webinar, and it's only 90 minutes of your time. And if you can commit that 90 minutes of your time, it will make the difference for the rest of your life. So Jane, bye-bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow at our webinar, right? Tomorrow at our mastermind. And we have a webinar today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So persons can jump on now and register and be able to join that live webinar today. We have them Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, we also said if you can't make that time, you can catch a replay. Right. So thank you again, Jane, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, don't go.